All right, so just got out of seeing Black Bag, and overall, I thought it was really good. It's not something I don't think I could watch more than once. It felt a little bit kind of like a cutout of a movie, or like it really trimmed the fat out of a movie that not necessarily could have had more to it, but it really it did not focus on setting up the characters that really much at all. The story, you have to really pay attention in this movie to make sure you're following what's going on, the character motivations. I think the biggest flaw, and it's a really good movie, but I never really understood the seriousness of it. I mean, I understood the overall impact, but the way everyone acts, it's almost as if they're not taking things that serious. And there's not a sense of urgency with anything that's ever done in the movie ever. I mean, the most urgency that it up until the very, very end is a fishing scene almost. So the stakes are just not felt. And I don't think that's the fault of the movie itself, because it's obviously doing exactly what it wants to do. But I think it's going to be a turnoff for a lot of people, because like I said, you really have to pay a lot of attention. The dialogue is fast. There's a couple of funny moments here and there, but like I said, you're playing catch up throughout the entire movie pretty much, unless you just really, really piece everything together. There's things sprinkled out throughout the entire first hour and 20 minutes, and it's all laid out to you in the last 10 minutes. Pierce Brosnan is it's nice to see him in another movie. He almost looks like an older James Bond a little bit, and he's still enjoying fine food, even though it's illegal. The whole cast is really good. All really good actors, saying great dialogue, and the story is it's interesting enough to never make you feel bored, unless you're someone who just has a hard time paying attention or something like that. Because if you do miss dialogue, even if you miss one line in a scene or something like that, it feels like you could just be lost in the movie, and then you would then become bored because you don't really know exactly what's going on. And I would say it's really good. It's just missing some things that I think could have made it a little bit better. Mostly knowing a little bit more about exactly the organization that they work with, although I like how things about that storyline unfolded, but I would like to have known a little bit more to understand the true stakes of the movie. And I kept on thinking throughout, are these people that dangerous, like, to others? Are they desk workers, or do they get out in the field and kill people a lot? So I thought that was the biggest holdback, from just not understanding certain things that could have been built up a little bit more. It just felt like something that it's not going to stick with you. You'll see it, you'll really enjoy it while watching it, and afterwards there'll be some things you could talk about. There's a couple of interesting moments of dialogue in this that can sprout up some good conversation. Especially, I think one of the best parts was talking about how one of the couple's marriage works out. I thought that was kind of really interesting to be able to just talk about afterwards. But overall, I don't think it's going to be a movie that really sticks with anybody for too long of a period of time. It's really good, but it's definitely not going to be anything that's like Oscar worthy or anything, even though like has great dialogue and the acting and the music is really good. There's just a lot of things that add up that you could see, praise being talked about. but the movie as a whole was not quite there to be something more than, like I said, just something that is really good in the moment, but maybe not something you revisit, or maybe even depending on how much, like, the less you know about the story and the more interested you are in it, might get you to watch it a couple more times or something like that. I got most of everything, and I'm pretty sure the stuff that I would want is not, you cannot find it. I would like to have seen a little bit more about exactly what these characters do and the type of agency that they work for. Without that, there's not really much of a reason for me to revisit it, because I got everything else. But I would still suggest watching it somehow at some point, because it's really refreshing to see a movie where you have to pay attention so much and not everything is spoon-fed to you, and just there's just a lot on display to really enjoy, just falling short a little bit. But and of course, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one.